And good afternoon and good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we're going to be bringing you the third and final game of the set between the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles and the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. Our friend Dino's Picks says predictions. We'll give them to you after we read out the lineups here. This will be the third of the three games. Each team has one ball game. It was Friday. The Fighters won the opener of the series last night. The Eagles came back with a 6-0 shutout. And tonight, this is the rubber match in the three-game set. Leading off tonight for the Eagles in left field, wearing number 32 is Daisuke Nakashima. Batting second in right field is number 38, Naoki Sato. Hitting third and playing in center field is number 8, Ryosuke Tatsumi. The cleanup spot and doing designated hitting is number 34, Carson McCusker. Batting fifth at second base, wearing number 6 is Itsuki Moribayashi. Batting in the sixth spot and playing third base is number 24, Fumiya Kurakawa. Hitting seventh at first base is number 98, Kyosuke Kaneko. Batting eighth and doing the catching tonight is number 65, and that is Kengo Horiuchi. And batting ninth and playing shortstop is number 1, Rui Muniyama. And they'll be facing Kohei Arihara, who takes to the hill with a 3-6 record. Even though his record and ERA is a little bit flawed, he's pitched well as of late. He's worked 55 in the third innings, allowing 59 hits, 36 runs, 30 earned, walking 16 and striking out 39. Last weekend, he pitched against the Marines and was absolutely stellar, helping the Fighters to a victory. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters. Leading off tonight in center field is wearing number 50, Ryo Isabata. Batting second at shortstop is number 43, Tetsuki Mizuno. Hitting third in right field is number 66, Chusei Manami. In the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 99, Franmil Reyes. Batting in the fifth spot in left field is number 5, Yuki Nomura. Batting sixth at first base is number 21, Kotaro Kiyomiya. Batting seventh at third base is number 39, Naoki Arizono. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 33, Yuya Shinto. And batting ninth at second base is number 4, Daigo Kawabata. And it is Katsuki Koja, who will take to the hill tonight for the Eagles. He has struggled this year. He's got a record of 1-7. He's worked 73 innings, allowed 71 hits, 37 runs, 33 of which have been earned, walking 20 and striking out 65, pitching to a 4.07 ERA. Those are your starting lineups, and some of the folks have asked us what they think our predictions will be from around the NPB tonight. Well, first of all, let's start with this game. I got to say, as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm still staying with the Fighters. I've said Fighters all the way through, including last night. Unfortunately, the Fighters took it on the chin. Currently, the Fighters are tied for second place with the Saitama Sea Blue Lions. They have a 58-46 record. They're 7.5 games behind the Hawks. The Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles are in dead last in the Pacific. They are 38-59-1, and they are 24 games behind Fukuoka. And that is a huge difference. So my thoughts are tonight is it'll be a Fighter victory. Looking around the NPB, the Lions are hosting the Hawks. It'll be Takuchi versus Maeda. I'm going Hawks in the getaway game today. The Lions did their part yesterday and got a victory 2-1 over Fukuoka. I don't think Fukuoka will lose 2 in a row. And over at the Zozo Marine Stadium, it is Joey Lucchese who is taking to the hill, the former Met, Padre, Giant, Angel, as he is joining the Marines. But he is going to be facing Sean Agelli, and I think the Buffaloes will get a victory in that one tonight, especially Lucchese's first time in the league. If you jump over to the Central League, Shinsuke Ogasawara is going for the Giants against Matsumoto for the Swallows. I'm taking Giants all the way. The game between the Carp and the Bay Stars, to be honest with you, Carp, I'm not picking anything in favor of the Carp. Bay Stars tonight for that one. And then it is Ito versus Yanagi of the Tigers and the Dragons. I'm going to lean towards the Dragons in that one. The game is at the Kyocera Dome in Osaka. It's not at the home of the Hanshin Tigers. The Koshin is they've now moved out for the high school stuff. I'm going with the Dragons for a victory there tonight. Well, Kohei Harihara has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. Hopefully that will be everybody as well. So we are going to be ready to go as Arihara is going to be facing the leadoff hitter Nakashima here. It'll be Nakashima, Sato, and Tatsumi in the first pitch of the ball game. A fastball at the knees taken for a called strike. And we are underway at 14:01 local time, which would be 10:01 Pacific or 1:01 Eastern, depending on where you're at. There is a changeup that drops in for a called strike. I could tell Nakashima didn't like it as he leaned backward. His body language spoke 1,000 words and told the umpire what he thought. So no balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander Arihara ready to deliver. He kicks and fires, and there is a changeup swung on. It is grounded softly to short. Fielded by Mizuno, he throws to first, and the first out is in the books. A ground out 6-3, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Naoki Sato. Well, for Sato, hitting .262 on the season, 6 homers and 17 RBIs. Got into last night's action as a late pinch runner for Carson McCusker. But he slots into the starting lineup in right field tonight. Right-hander Arihara kicks and he delivers. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away on the first base side of home plate. The count is 0-1. Defensively tonight for the Fighters from left to right field, Nomura is in left. The center fielder is Isobata with Manami in right. Around the horn from first to third, as Arihara quickly delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on, chopped softly down the third base line. But Arizona's going to let it roll foul. It's going to run the count to 0-2 to Sato. Defensively from first to third, Kiyomiya slots back into the lineup tonight. He is at first. Over at second is Kama Kawabata, so a new right side of the infield for this one. Shortstop is Mizuno, and Arizona holds the job at third with the battery of Arihara and Shinto. So no balls and 2 strikes to Sato. Arihara ready to go again. His changeup was excellent last week. It is a bread and butter pitch for him. As the 0-2 is on the way, there's a fastball swung on it. It is driven foul. That last pitch was at 89 miles an hour on, sorry, I should say 94 miles an hour on our radar gun. Arihara can still bring it up when he has to. So no balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Sato. Arihara delivers again. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow center field. Coming hard is Isobata, but he's going to drop it in front of him. That's going to be a 1-out single for Sato as he is aboard. And that'll bring up the center fielder in Ryosuke Tatsumi. Other games around the NPB tonight. All the other games will get off a little bit later. The ball game that is underway as well at the Tokyo Dome, it is the Giants and the Swallows. Other games will go off in about 3 hours' time at the Balluna Dome. It'll be the Lions and the Hawks. At the Sozo Marine Stadium, it's going to be the Marines and the Buffaloes. And then at 6 o'clock local time, or 1800 hours in Japan, as that first pitch fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Tatsumi. Bay Stars will host the Carp, and the Tigers hosting the Dragons at the Kyocera Dome. They throw over to first base, and easily diving back is Sato. Sato can run a little bit. He's got 3 stolen bases this year, but he doesn't have a whole lot of opportunities to get on base to run. But when he does run, he can move around. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on his ground, shot through the 6-hole on the left side, and Tatsumi's aboard with a single. So back-to-back singles here with 1 out, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Carson McCusker. So the Eagles picking up where they left off late in last night's ball game. It was a changeup that stayed up a little bit for Tatsumi as he was able to stay inside the ball and take it the other way. Good piece of hitting there by the Eagles center fielder. Our friend Tim says he's never been to the Marine Stadium. Decently close to Tokyo. I've been to a game there, and to be quite honest, it's probably one of my least favorite stadiums in the NPB. They play rugby there, I understand, and it's one of those multi-purpose stadiums. First pitch to McCusker, fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Coming hard is Isobata. He slides. Does he hang on and make the catch? Yes, he does, as the runners are going to have to retreat back to their respective bases. A nice jump there by Isobata. McCusker's ball just hung up a little bit. He did stay inside the ball, but he got a little bit of a hump in it. A nice job by Isobata to get on his horse to make the grab, and he is gone for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, and it's Suki Muribayashi. Yeah, the multi-purpose stadium or stadiums, not a huge fan of. And certainly the one in Chiba, where the Marines call them that their home stadium, is not exactly the most elegant place to watch a baseball game. I understand they're supposed to be building a new stadium for them. There's a first pitch fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So I guess the race is on. Will the Swallows get their stadium first, or will the Marines get their stadium first? Time will only tell. The outside of the stadium is really well done, and they have like a big store and a building across the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. They also have a lot of food trucks outside, and the atmosphere around the stadium is pretty good. So from that perspective, it's not bad. There's a lot of area where the stadium in Chiba is, and it's close to the water. You have to go across a freeway to get there. I think there's a university, if I'm not mistaken, across the way. So it's not in a bad position. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 to Murabayashi. But as far as an overall venue is concerned, at least for, watching a game, it's kind of I wouldn't, I'd be a one and done. Although I have to admit, I do kick myself as there was a game I wasn't sure I was going to get to. It was Roki Sasaki was pitching, I believe, against Kohei Arihara when Arihara was with the Hawks a couple of years ago. And I debated on going to the game, but they were calling for such miserable weather. There's a split finger pitch missing down, and the count's 2-2. I didn't think the game was going to go off. There was a typhoon that had hit in Osaka. We had some remnants of it come in the day before when I saw Chiba and the Lions play, and I didn't want to endure myself on a Friday night to watch Roki pitch against Arihara. And unfortunately, that might have been an opportunity that has since passed, not being able to see Sasaki live. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the right-hander, ready to go again, kicks and delivers. There's a split finger pitch that misses down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. The catcher, Shinto, was applying the tag, but Murabayashi was not going around. The one angle that we saw, I'd have to probably agree, but we didn't get the angle that the first base umpire would get. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Murabayashi. Runners are going to be on the move when the pitch is delivered to the plate. 2 gone here in the first. Eagles looking to push a run across here like they did last night in the first inning. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the first base side. The count remains full. All Rails says he wish he could go to Hokkaido or to the Tohoku Stadium, but it's pretty far. One of the things that I believe the high-speed rail is going to connect Tokyo and Hokkaido. I want to say it's by 2030 or 2032. I know it sounds like a long ways away, but in a blink of an eyelid, 2030 is going to be here. And to your point, yeah, it is very far. You almost have to land in Tokyo and get a connecting flight to Sapporo. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. Another one into the seats, and that keeps the count at 3-2 to Murabayashi. To be able to go and to see a game in that area, that would be pretty good. But to take a regular train right now, I think it's about a 12 to 14-hour train ride from Tokyo to the Hokkaido region. You'd almost have to break it up. I think it's like about 8 or 9 hours to Tohoku. So you go catch an Eagles game or 2, and then you get on the train and you make your way up to where the Fighters play. But it's just very arduous. I think I would rather be on a high-speed rail. If the high-speed rail, then you can get there in, I think, 3 or 4 hours, something like that. There's a changeup swung on it. Is chopped foul over on the third base side, and this battle with Murabayashi is going to continue. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes it remains, as this is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. So in some ways, selfishly, I'm holding out for the high-speed rail to get into place, and then I would make my way to Japan that way to be able to take the bullet train from Tokyo to Hokkaido. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as Arihara leads in, gets the sign from Shinto. He checks the runner over at second. The runners again are on the move. There they go. Fastball swung on. This time it's popped up on the infield. It's playable. It's in foul territory. Kiyomiya underneath it. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Muribayashi for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Eagles in their half of the first. They threaten, but they don't score. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. We are through a half inning. Your score is the Eagles nothing, and the Fighters coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. It is Eagles and Fighters when we return in just a couple of moments. Stay with us, everybody. Isabata coming to bat to lead things off when we return.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO. Babe, I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice. Crank the AC to 79 and make
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the left-hander Koja who is completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to resume the action here in just a moment. It'll be Ryo Isabata, Tatsuki Mizuno, and Chusei Manami, the 1-2-3 hitters, to come to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Our friend Tim says the next time his goal is to see more games in different places in Japan, and that would be a good goal. Also, too, don't write off the industrial leagues. Try to get to see some of their games. They draw, I understand, some pretty solid crowds as well. You can get between 10 and 20,000 in some places. I was also looking to go see some of the farm games. I've seen a farm game in where the Lions play. As the first pitch from Koja is on the way. It's a fastball that is check swing. It's in front of the plate, but it rolls foul into the right-handed batter's box, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Isabata. One of the things that's interesting is I kind of kicked myself in a way because I had an opportunity to go see the Giants farm team play. I understand the Giants farm team, they have a nice little stadium. It's kind of outside of the Tokyo main area. I want to say it's more southwest. There's a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away. The count is 0-2. And on top of it, another place to go see a farm team, I understand, was last year the Hanshin Tigers opened up a brand new farm stadium, and I think it seats maybe about 5,000 fans, something like that, 5,000 to 7,000. I don't think they get that many to the games, but certainly I understand you can get 1,000 or a little more. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Isabata stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 1, and that is going to bring up the shortstop in Tatsuki Mizuno. And our friend All Rails says he hasn't been to Yokosuka, if I've said that correctly yet either, but he's been there, but not for watching a game. As time has been called, as the hitter Mizuno is digging himself a hole in the left-handed batter's box. Batting .292 on the year, 8 homers and 35 runs batted in. As Koja kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on his chop softly to short. They're going to have to hurry. Fielded on the run by Muniyama. He throws to first. And that is going to be a ground out. 6-3 for the second out of the inning. And it's going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Chusei Manami. Defensively tonight for the Eagles from left to right field, Nakashima is in left. The center fielder Tatsumi. The right fielder is Sato. Around the horn from first to third, you've got Kaneko at first. The second baseman is Muribayashi. At short, it's Muniyama. And at third, Kurikawa. The battery of Koja and Horiuchi. Lefty Koja kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on its ground softly over to the right side. Fielded neatly by Kawabata. He throws to first. It's a ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it easily here for the Fighters in their half of the first inning. So no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. This game is moving along quickly. Your score as we move to the second, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel. Stay with us for more after this.
Like it's delirium, ay, ay, like it's delirium, ay, I got delirium, ay, like it's delirium, yeah, like it's delirium. She just wanna bounce to it, baby, get your giddy on. Walk up to the stage with a drink like I'm Giveon, but I never came here to sing what I'm really on. Giving dividends, I'm trying to boost your career and all. Know you got a binge, you ain't got one with the ceiling gone. If you wanna get it gone, give me the experience. Make me a believer like a feature at the cinema. Then we gotta keep it all the secret like the Pentagon. All these people times, people.
We are skipping along here. It is the second time in as many weeks that the roof is open. Although I have to say the difference in the start time possibly has changed where the light is. We noticed when it was an hour earlier start, the sunlight was cutting across the infield. But here it is a line that goes kind of through the outfield. So 2 of the last couple of weeks with the roof open in Hokkaido, that's good to see. First pitch, a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Fumiya Kurikawa. Kurikawa hitting a .243 on the year, a couple homers and 19 RBIs. Swings at a fastball and lifts that one foul into the seats over on the third base side. The count is 0-2. I wonder against Arihara if you're almost better to sit changeup. He throws so many of them throughout the course of the game. It might be better for hitters to actually sit that. That's not a traditional thought process. A lot of hitters don't necessarily sit soft. They always sit hard. Because there's a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball. Count is 1-2. But with the frequency that Arihara really relies on his changeup, you have to wonder if that might be an approach for some of the hitters. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. And it's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count 1-2 to Kurikawa. Ball and 2 strikes. Not saying it's right, just saying it might be something to consider as a opponent to be able to fix the approach or to make an adjustment when facing the links of Arihara. He can be dominant with that pitch. Here's the 1-2. It is a fastball swung on. It's chopped softly over to first. Kiyomiya fields it. He's going to call off Arihara. He's going to win the race to the bag, and Kurikawa's gone on a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up Kyosuke Kaneko to the plate. Kaneko got the start in last night's game. He was 0 for 4. He is 0 for 6 to begin his NPB career as he is looking for his first hit. He is back in the lineup again here tonight. Big fella at the plate. When you look at a player, sometimes he fills out the uniform well. He looks the part. Is he going to play the part? I think that's the next question. So he has his hands extended away from his body, and the first pitch is a fastball that comes in on the fists, fouls it away for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Just a programming note, we are going to be on the air again on Monday, North American time. It'll be a Tuesday game, and it'll be NB the Fighters. We seem to be following the Fighters, at least over the next week. Fastball swung on and chopped foul behind home plate. The count now is 0-2 to Kaneko. We will do the game between I believe it's the Saitama Cebu Lions next week, and I have to do a double. Saitama Cebu Lions will be playing this week against the Fighters. And then I believe next weekend we stay with the Fighters, and it'll be the Buffaloes and the Fighters. As that'll go off at the Kyocera Dome. Here's the pitch. It is a split finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Kaneko, well, he's in the books. He's gone for out number 2. So he's still searching for his first hit as a professional player at the top level in Japan. And check that. It was actually a split finger pitch. Has a similar type trajectory as the changeup, and Kaneko went fishing and came away with nothing. So 2 in the books. It leaves it up to the catcher in Kengo Horiuchi. Horiuchi did not start in last night's game. He got the day off. There was a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. He's batting .204 on the year. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. Batting from the left side here against Arihara, who kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses inside. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I will say this about Arihara. He has a lot of movement on his pitches. Whether it's the changeup, he does get a lot of depth to the pitch. He also throws a fastball that moves, and then the split finger pitch also has some depth as that fastball swung on and lifted into the seats down the left field line, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the catcher Horiuchi. So Arihara gets himself a new baseball, and he's ready to go back at it. He does work fairly quickly when he has nobody on base. Here comes the 1-2. As he kicks and delivers, it's a fastball missing upstairs, and the count now goes even at 2-2 to Horiuchi. We had a pretty good crowd in here last night for a Friday, and we certainly are glad that there's an uptick in our numbers tonight. For those of you who are making your way in, welcome to the stream. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on. This is lifted foul into the seats down the third base line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryuchi digs himself back in, hitting from the left side here against Arihara. Only 32 pitches so far for the Hokkaido right-hander. There's a fastball swung on, and it's chopped foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count remains at 2s. It was 19 pitches in the first inning for Arihara. And of those 19 pitches, 9 of them went to Murray Biashi. So he was skipping along pretty good until Murray Biashi made him work. There's a changeup swung on. This is lifted down the left field line. Running hard and making the catch is the left fielder, Nomura. What a play by Nomura. Fielding it on the backhand side. He hauls it in. And that is going to do it for the Eagles here in their half of inning number 2. They had no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors as they go in order. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the second. It is the Eagles, nothing, and the Fighters, nothing. Stick around, everybody. Bottom of the second, just around the corner. This game is moving at a rapid pace. We'll be right back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Harrison is checking in, and we are checking our timeout here as we will be back in just a couple moments. Nothing between the Eagles and the Fighters. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the order to get things going here for the fighters in their half of inning number 2. That means Franmil Reyes, Yuki Nomura, and Kotaro Kiyomiya. Last night I asked a question. I said, which team in NPB history, and I didn't have the answer for it, it was just me throwing it out, had the most double-digit home run hitters in one season? There's a first pitch fastball missing down and away. And the reason why I bring it up is when I look at the fighters, you've got Minami with 20, you've got Reyes with 24, Nomura at 13, Kiyomiya's got 11. So there's 4 in the lineup here tonight that have at least 10. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the answer to that question is in 2007, the Yomiuri Giants had 9 different players who had at least 10 homers or more over the course of the season. Or is a fastball that misses outside, and the count's now 2-1 to Reyes. But you have to go all the way back to 1980. That's 46 years ago when the Pacific League Kintetsu Buffaloes had 8 players who hit at least 10 home runs in a season. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to short. Reyes is going to be easily out on a ground out 6-3 as Muniyama makes the play. So 1 up and 1 away here for the second inning. And that's going to bring Yuki Nomura to the plate. But in 1980, the Kintetsu Buffaloes had 8 players in their lineup that smacked at least 10 homers or more, with former Phillies manager Charlie Manuel, who was the leader that particular year. So very interesting. Our friend Eloy in the house. We welcome you to the stream from beautiful Monterrey, Mexico. Fastball swung on, popped up. It's playable over on the first base side. Underneath it is the first baseman Kaneko, and he's there to make the catch. And with 1 pitch, Nomura is retired for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the first baseman in Kotaro Kiyomiya. Beautiful day for baseball in Hokkaido. As we said, sunny skies and the roof is open. One thing I was curious about is when you go to games in Arizona, when they open the roof, even though the roof is open, you are sitting comfortably in air conditioning, the fans when they sit there. I saw 3 games sit a few years ago against the White Sox. Fastball misses upstairs, and it's a 1 ball to Kiyomiya. And I'm curious if that would be something similar or technology that they would have in Hokkaido. I guess we're going to have to do our own investigation and find out when we're there. There's a fastball that misses up and in, but third base umpire said Kiyomiya went around, and that's going to even the count at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Our friend Harrison says New York is in the house. Eloy says he took the fighters and he hopes they win tonight. And we were saying at the top of the stream, I would be leaning toward the fighters in this one and to win the series. As that breaking ball misses down, it's now 2-1 to Kiyomiya. Harrison saying that he's pumping his fist for the Bay Stars. Bay Stars are back in that playoff hunt as the Swallows' free fall continues. There's a breaking ball outside, but the home plate umpire says that Kiyomiya went around and it evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It was a 5-pitch first inning for Koja, and he is working effectively and efficiently here in inning number 2. And there is a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and that is going to do it as Kiyomiya is in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, the 2nd strikeout retired by Koja. And that is going to do it here for the fighters in inning number 2. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard your score. As we are now through 2 complete innings, it is where we started. The Eagles nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few right after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. More baseball to come after this.
Find my way to you. Yeah. I want to find my way to you. You, my love. There's so many people who say that they won't when they will.
Welcome back, everybody. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Eagles here to get things going in the third inning against Kohei Arihara. It'll be Rui Muniyama, the top of the order, Daisuke Nakashima, and Naoki Sato. 34 pitches for the Fighters right-hander through his first 2 innings of work as we start inning number 3. Muniyama hitting from the left side, batting .221, a couple of homers and 8 RBIs. Stands in on the left side, waiting on the pitch from Arihara. He takes a fastball inside for ball. Count is 1-0. In Muniyama's last 5 games, he is 6 for 17 with a homer and a couple RBIs. He is starting to heat up a bit. He had a couple hits in last night's game. Fastball swung on and fouled away into the seats down the third base line, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Muniyama waiting here. He wears a shin guard on his right leg, on the lead leg. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and lifted foul into the stands over on the third base side. Count is 1-2. I remember a story that Eduardo Perez was telling one time when his father, Tony, used to give him a lot of static about wearing the shin guard on his shin, and he's no good hitter wears a shin guard because if you are, it's a long swing and you're fouling it off into your lead leg. There's the 1-2 pitch. It's a fastball missing upstairs. And he used to give him a lot of static, so what he did is he would put the shin guard underneath his pants, and he was playing, I guess, for the Marlins, and he'd slid into second base, and the shin guard ended up coming off and exposed that he had the shin guard underneath. But you see that with a lot of people when they have long swings, foul the ball off of their lead leg. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. It's a changeup swung on and missed, and Muniyama was way out in front, and he's gone for the first out of the inning. That's the second strikeout recorded tonight by Arihara. It'll bring up the top of the order in Daisuke Nakashima. And our friend Diego Garza is back in the house. We welcome you back into the stream tonight. He says he is back, and back with a vengeance. And just as Diego is back, we mentioned a couple innings ago that our next game that we'll broadcast will be on Monday night North American time. It'll be the Tuesday game in Japan. As there is a changeup swung on and missed, and Nakashima was way out in front of it, 0-1. Harrison asked the question, says, do you think the Jingu will be there in the summer of 2028? Another changeup and another swing and miss as Nakashima's in the hole at 0-2. I'm not sure what the time frame is for the Jingu where it's going to be torn down. Originally, when I started hearing rumblings a year or so ago, it sounded like it was about 5 years. And there's another changeup and another one that's waved at, and Nakashima gone. Disposed of quickly on 3 pitches. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to the right fielder in Naoki Sato. Diego says he's taken the Fighters on money line again, and hopefully they will win. Yeah, I was saying the discrepancy between these two clubs is great. The Fighters are a much better team than the Eagles, but for whatever reason, it just seems like the Eagles play them tough all the time. There's a fastball swung on and it's line foul down the right field line. Count is quickly 0-1 to Sato. Sato has one of the 2 hits tonight for the Golden Eagles. He had a single but was stranded at second in the first inning. He's raised his season average up to 266. Right-hander against the right-hander. As Arihara kicks and delivers, it's a changeup swung on. It is grounded softly to short. They're going to have to hurry to get him. Nice play by Mizuno in the 6th hole. An even better stretch by Kiyomiya, and that is going to retire Sato on a ground out 6-3, and that's going to be it here for the Fighter or for the Eagles in their half of the third. They go in order once again. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. And we're ripping along right now. Your score as we move to the bottom half of the third. It is a 0-0 ball game. Kohei Arihara has been given a placard to hold up. He just struck out his 1,000th hitter in this past inning in the NPB. So congratulations to him for that. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this between the Fighters and the Eagles in just a couple of moments. Welcome back, everybody. It's the bottom third of the batting order to come to bat here for the Fighters in their half of inning number 3. That means Naoki Arizono, Yuya Shinto, and Daigo Kawabata to face the left-hander Koja, who has been very efficient tonight in his 2 innings of work. Only 15 pitches for the lefty. First pitch, breaking ball, taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Harrison says, should he take Yokohama to sweep? I think so. Fastball swung on, grounded over to third. Nice play there by the third baseman, Kurikawa, who takes it on a hop and fires to first. Arizona is in the books on the ground out 5-3 for out number 1. That's going to bring up the catcher in Yuya Shinto. Both of these teams tonight have had their struggles at the plate so far. Neither of the ball clubs are swinging the bat against either of the 2 pitchers. Probably the one who has been a little bit more effective, in fact, maybe much more efficient, has been Koja. 17 pitches to retire 7 batters. And here's the pitch. First pitch, breaking ball to Shinto, taken at the knees for a called strike. Shinto hitting $180 on the year, 3 homers and 9 runs driven in. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on and lined foul into the netting down the first base line. And the count is at 0-2. Interesting. I've not really noticed it before, but it looks like that Koja has a very large birthmark on the back of his neck. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Very distinguishable. Whoa, there's a fastball. I'm not sure where that pitch was, but it looked like it would split the plate right in half. But no, says the home plate umpire, is it looks like maybe above the waistline, at least in his eyes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first base line. The count is 1-2. I can't remember what it was the other night. I was watching one of the highlights. Somebody was posting Major League highlights up on TikTok. And I happened to see, it happened to the Pirates. Somebody had, where they thought they'd struck somebody out. The batter was walking to the dugout. There's another pitch that looked pretty darn good. That just missed, and the count is even 2-2. And the batter thought it was strike 3. He was walking toward the dugout, and the umpire never went up with the right hand. And Donnie Kelly, the manager of the Pirates, came out, and he went ballistic. It probably would have too. The batter had already conceded the out. There's a breaking ball missing way upstairs. The count now goes full to Shinto. And the announcers were saying it was not having a feel for the game. You had a pitch right down the middle. The batter is walking out of the batter's box, and you won't ring him up. Here's the 3-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, chopped slowly to the right side, fielded nicely by the first baseman Kaneko. He underhand flips it to the pitcher covering. It's going to go in the books as a ground out 3-1 for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman in Daigo Kawabata. Well, for Kawabata, he is hitting .205 on the year, no homers and 4 RBIs. Last night's ball game, it was Narama who was the second baseman, and he was absolutely outstanding defensively. And at the plate, he was 1 for 3. He had a double and 3 trips. And as his reward, he got the night off today, or the day off today. There's a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. That's sometimes when I look at some of the managers, I don't understand the process. I was talking about the plays of Narama last night at one stage. I'm not sure where it ended up, but he was involved with either, I think it was 8 putouts or assists, and that was like through the first 5 or 6 innings. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into left center field. Tatsumi coming in the sunlight. He makes the catch, and that's going to retire Kawabata for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Fighters. 9 men up, 9 men down for Hokkaido. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. A third of the game is complete. We are now moving to the top of the 4th inning, and we are where we started. A 0-0 ball game and a beautiful sunny day in Hokkaido. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Welcome back, everybody. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters slated to come to bat for the Eagles in their half of the inning. That means Ryosuke Tatsumi, Carson McCusker, and Itsuki Muribayashi will be the ones coming to bat here. It looked like there was a little bit longer delay than anticipated. I'm not sure if they were still doing a little bit more for Arihara, but we'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action right after this. He is late to get to the hill to do his tune-up tosses.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we know it's time to get back to the action here as Kohei Arihara has completed his tune-up tosses. It'll be Ryosuke Tatsumi, Carson McCusker, and Itsuki Muribayashi, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, to come to bat here to face the Fighters right-hander here to begin inning number 4. 44 pitches through the first 3 innings, pretty economical for the Hokkaido right-hander. He's been all around the zone as the left-handed hitting Tatsumi steps in. He's got one of the 2 hits for the Eagles tonight as he punched a ball through the 6-hole his first time up. First pitch, fastball misses off the inside corner, and the count is 1-0 to Tatsumi. $76 Fish says, who should he take? Well, we said Fighters last night, and we're staying on that ship here again tonight. As that fastball is taken for a called strike, which is the top of the stream tonight. We said Fighters to win this series. My only drawback to this is that the Eagles, for whatever reason, seem to play the Fighters tough. I don't know if it's because they're the regional team or their closest rival. 1-1 pitch on the way. It's a changeup swung on and fouled over on the first base side. The count goes to 1-2 on Tatsumi. And of course, the difference in the standings, the tie for second place Lions and the Fighters tied for second. They're 7.5 back of the Hawks. On the flip side of the coin, you've got the Eagles that are like 24.5 games out behind the Hawks. And there's about 17 games separating these two teams. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Tatsumi in the books, he's gone for the first out of the inning, and by our counts, that is strikeout number 4 for Kohei Arihara tonight. 4-seam fastball with a little bit arm side run on it. Able to blow it by the hitter for the first out. Lumen Code back in the house tonight. Better late than never. We had the attendance roll call earlier, but we didn't see you, but now we have checked in, and we got you on the board. So Carson McCusker standing at the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He lined out to center his first time up. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses inside. And the count is 1-0 to McCusker. McCusker did have a double in last night's ball game. He had the start in left field. Tonight he gets the nod as the designated hitter. We were talking a little bit about the American players, or maybe not the American, the import players that the Eagles have had in recent years. As that changeup misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. And really, the Eagles have not had a lot of luck, or at least I would say not a lot of luck in the last few years with import players. And McCusker is looking to break that trend immediately. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. McCusker is going to round first, but he's going to hold in with a single. And so he is aboard with a 1-out knock. That's the first hit the Eagles have had since the first inning. That'll bring up the second baseman in Itsuki Muribayashi. Well, for Muribayashi, comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He's popped the first his only trip. Our friend God is Great is in the house. We welcome you as well. As we said, we did the early roll call and missed you, but now he has checked in, both him and Lumen Code. Able to make it into the house tonight. We're glad you guys could be here. Batting .275, 4 homers and 42 RBIs. Muribayashi Waits on the first pitch. It's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle. Mizuno fields it. He underhand flips it to second for one. Back to first. It's going to be an inning-ending double play. It's going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 variety. And that is going to do it here for the Eagles in their half of the first inning. No runs, one hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the fourth. It is the Fighters nothing and the Eagles nothing. The game is skipping along on a beautiful, sunny Sunday afternoon in Hokkaido. And we'll be back in just a few right after this musical timeout. Stay with us, everyone. Glad to have you with us tonight for all the action.
Do you hear that? My sanity about to break while everyone I know's out. On a trip, on a boat, on a lake. I'm tired of feeling all FOMO, babe. I don't even care if we stay home. Put our to-do list on ice. We crank the AC to 79 and make
Welcome back, everybody. It'll be the top of the order to come to bat here in inning number 4. Ryo Isabata, Tatsuki Mizuno, and Chusei Minami to get things going. The 1, 2, 3 hitters in the batting order. The Fighters are looking for their first base runner of the ball game, as both pitchers have held the opposition in check. It has been a pitcher's duel. If you like pitching defense, then you'll like tonight's ball game. If you like offense, well, this is not the day so far. So Isabata steps in. He has struck out looking to begin the ball game. And the first pitch from Koji swings through a breaking ball, and the count is quickly 0-1. Isabata really having a tough year at the plate, as he's hitting 200 with no homers and an RBI, and he waves at another breaking ball, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the lefty getting the sign from his catcher. It looks like they're going to set him up the same way. I'm expecting breaking ball away. Let's see what they have. And it is a breaking ball. He got a little too much of the plate. He chops it right back to the pitcher, who fields it, and he throws to first. And Isabata is going to be retired on a ground out 1-3. Boy, did he get down the line in a hurry. So he's gone for the first out of the inning, and then it's going to bring up the shortstop in Tatsuki Mizuno. Well, for Mizuno, 0 for 1 today. He's grounded to short his only time up. Mizuno entered the ball game hitting .292. He has slipped a little bit, lost a point off the average, takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Brampton Baller says, is there any TV channel to watch this game? Yeah, we normally go through that at the beginning of the night. We actually didn't do that tonight, so if you stick around, we'll give that to you in a couple moments. Breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2 on Mizuno. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Koja delivers fastball, just misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. Lefty Koja ready to go again as he holds at the belt. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Mizuno did a 180 and makes his way right back to the dugout. He's gone for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Chusei Minami. Well, for those of you who are interested, if you are able to search around and maybe find out. The games tonight are on TV broadcasts, HTB1 and Gaora Sports. Those are the television broadcasts in Japan. If you have DAZN, depending upon where you're at in the world, I know North America, I think they don't think they're showing the Japanese league anymore. Rakuten TV and Baseball Live. Those are the online streaming options. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner to Manami, and the count is 0-1. Manami grounded out 4-3 his first time up. So there you have it right there. Left-hander ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. It is another breaking ball. This one swung on and chopped foul over on the third base side. The count is 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes to Manami. Getting the lefty ready to roll again as he gets the sign. Working quickly here as he holds set, and now he kicks and delivers. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2 on Manami. Talk about pitch efficiency. Only 36 pitches so far in 3+ innings for Koja. It's been a masterclass here for the lefty as he works himself to the set position and delivers. There's a fastball swung on its chop foul just past the bag at third base, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fella says, can we spell them HTB1? That'd be the number 1. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-2. And Gaora Sports would be Gaora. I have to admit, I'm not really familiar with Gaora Sports. That probably is more of a somewhere in the Northeast radio broadcast. Sometimes you'll see stuff up in the Northeast will have a different things that you would see out of the Tokyo area. As that fastball swung on and lifted foul, count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Manami, again, waiting on the offering from Koja, who works into his delivery. And he kicks and fires. There's a fastball comes under the hands, and he fouls it off over on the third base side by the third base dugout. And the count remains at 2. Now, this is where Koja would be well served if he could throw a changeup. I think he's got Manami way out in front. Seven of the 40 pitches in the game thrown by Koja have come to Manami in this at-bat. Here comes the pitch as it's on its way, and there's a breaking ball in the dirt. Waved at and missed. Manami, he's gone on strikes for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it. There is 12 up and 12 retired. Fighter batters here tonight. We got a beauty going here. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving now to the 5th inning. And we are where we started. It is the Eagles nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stick around, everybody. We might have something special brewing here tonight, but we're only 4 innings deep. We'll see how this shapes up when we return after this.
Storms on the roof, secrets whispered.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to come to bat for the Eagles. That means Kurakawa, Kaneko, and Horiuchi, as they will face the right-hander Kohei Arihara, who will begin his fifth inning of work. He's just completing his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to rock and roll. Arihara, for his 4 innings, only 52 pitches, which also has been very economical at 13 pitches per inning. And there was a fastball belted foul down the right field line. It's going to hook into the seats. Count is quickly 0-1 to Kurokawa. Kurokawa 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to first his first time up, hitting .243 on the year with a couple of homers and 19 runs batted in. Bats from the left side against Arihara, who kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch missing down, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Arihara leaning in, getting the sign from his catcher Shinto. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a changeup that misses way outside. The count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. Arihara adjusts the cap. And he's ready to go again. The veteran right-hander working himself to the belt. Here comes the 2-1 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and knifed foul into the seats down the third base line. 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. It's almost a self-defense swing in that situation. If he would have taken that pitch, he would have went to 3-1. He would have been in the driver's seat, Kurokawa. 76 Fish says, who's up to bat? It's the top of the 5th. That means the Eagles are hitting. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is a fastball swung on and line foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 2s. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go as Arihara gets the new baseball. Wasting no time. Both pitchers tonight working at a very good clip. We're 4+ innings in, and we've done an hour. It's unbelievable. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and it runs full to Kurokawa. Sometimes there's people come in and they look for advice as far as who to pick at the beginning of the games. My advice to everybody would be is if you go to the NPB website, they always announce the starting pitchers. The starting pitchers are something that you can always look at, give you an indication. There's a fastball swung on, grounded over to second. Kama Kawabata charges, fields it, throws to first. Kurokawa is out on a ground out 4-3. Doesn't tell you the whole story, but it certainly gives you an idea, depending upon who the pitching matchups are. Certainly tonight, Arihara has pitched much better over his last 3 or 4 outings. Koja, who's not pitched very well at all this year, I shouldn't say that. He's pitched okay this year. He's absolutely throwing a gem right now. And so, but doesn't tell you the whole story, but can give you an indication of who you might want to deal with. And there is did they get him? Oh, yeah, there was a pitch that came inside. I thought it might have hit the end of the bat. Kaneko got hit in the elbow, so he's going to take off the elbow guard. We're going to see here. I wonder if they're going to have a look at this one. And Shinjo is asking the question why he's getting first base. So let's see if they're going to have a peek at this. No, I guess not. That is going to be a hit by pitch. We're going to look at the replay on this one. Yeah, it did get the elbow guard, but I got a problem with that. The elbow guard is hanging about 3 or 4 inches off of his elbow. So it looked like it caught the end of it wasn't really protecting the elbow. It was leaning out over the plate. I guess any way you can get on if you're Kaneko, because that's the first time he's reached base in his NPB career. 0 for 7 at the plate, and now he's been hit by a pitch. So Arihara ready to go. That was pitch number 60 from him. And instead he steps off the backside of the rubber and gives a token toss to first base. Easily getting back is the runner Kaneko. So Horiuchi at the plate here, batting an even 200 now on the season. He flew out to left field his first time up. It was a nice running catch by the left fielder Nomura. And there is a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Horiuchi. For those of you who've just made it in, we are glad you could make it. We've got something special possibly brewing here. The Fighters yet to get a base runner of any variety, as the pitcher for the Eagles has faced the minimum. So you can figure out what that is. So here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-1 to Horiuchi. Kohei Arihara gets city baseball. He rubs it up. 1 ball and 1 strike to the catcher of the Eagles. 62 pitches so far for Arihara. Only 41 for Koja. It's unbelievable. And Arihara steps off the backside of the rubber and gives a token toss over to first. I'm not sure why they're so interested in Kaneko. I don't expect him to be a base runner, although being that it's the first time at the NPB level he's reached base, I don't know what to expect. Here comes the 1-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Arihara again gets a baseball. He goes to the rosin bag, rubs it up. Ready to go again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Kaneko establishes his lead over at first base. They're not exactly holding him tight. Kiyomiya is off of the base a little bit. There is a changeup that just misses. I'm not sure where that pitch was. We're back to this again with the home plate umpire. Last night, the home plate umpire was really squeezing. This is almost batter to batter. That pitch there was an excellent pitch. It wasn't low. It's 3 balls and a strike now to Horiuchi. Tell you that it wasn't low. Always look at the shin guards of the catcher. Usually if the top of the shin guard or where the shin guard is, it's right at the knees of the hitter. So if he catches above the shin guards, you can pretty much anticipate that's going to be a strike. And there is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is now full to Horiuchi. That pitch was pretty much in the same location, although it was a little bit more inside than the pitch before. One thing is that you get the offset camera angles that sometimes wreak a little bit of havoc with what you see in those situations. Our friend Harrison says that the Swallows are up 1-0. Here's the pitch. It is a split-figure pitch, swung and missed. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is in time. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the inning. And that is going to retire Kaneko 2-6, caught stealing. He's gone for the 3rd out. And that'll do it here as Horiuchi is gone for the 2nd as well. Well, an unconventional 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are halfway through this one. It is the Eagles 0 and the Fighters 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll see if the Fighters will get their first base runner of the night when we return right after this. Appreciate you for listening on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Steady
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to come to bat here for the Fighters as Franmil Reyes will lead it off. 0 for 1 tonight as he grounded to short his first time up. And the first pitch is a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to third. Kurakawa is going to have to hurry, and he fires to first, and Reyes is going to be gone on a ground out 5-3. For the first pitch, he is retired for out number 1. And that'll bring up the left fielder in Yuki Nomura. So it was 41 pitches through 4 innings for Koja, as he's hardly had to break a sweat so far in this one tonight. He has been absolutely outstanding. So this brings Nomura to the plate. Nomura, who is also 0 for 1 tonight, popped the first his first time up. Takes a slow breaking ball on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike. He is working like a surgeon, is Koja, as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander against the right-hander as he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field, moving back onto the warning track and making it over the shoulder catch in the sunlight. It is a beautiful play by Ryosuke Tatsumi, and that is going to retire Nomura for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and it's going to leave it all up to Kotaro Kiyomiya. 14 up and 14 down here for the Fighters so far in this one on home soil. As Kiyomiya strides to the plate, he is 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out his first time up. As the lefty Koja kicks and delivers, it is a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded. Oh, just foul past the bag at third base. So no balls and 1 strike to Kiyomiya. That ball there did not go foul by much. To the point where it almost clipped the bag. So no balls, 1 strike to Kiyomiya as the lefty ready to go again. He rocks and delivers. Fastball misses inside, and the count now even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the lefty delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. And another tough play by Sato, as it looked like he almost overran the ball coming in. But that's going to retire Kiyomiya. He hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the right fielder, Sato, for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Fighters in their half of the 5th inning. They go in order yet again. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Are we going to witness something special? Well, we got a 5-minute break, as we like to call it the Japanese halftime. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the action for the top of the 6th inning when we return after this musical timeout. We'll put the music on loop. We'll take our break, and we'll come back and see you in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
That's right, everybody. We're moving to the top of the sixth inning. That is our friend Matt Hollis, but we're still a little bit of ways away as we do have this halftime break, as we like to call our Japanese halftime. It is a top of the sixth inning. Nothing. Eagles and Fighters will be back in just a few with all the action right after this. Timeout. Stay with us, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Kohei Arihara is on the hill here, just completing his tune-up tosses, and we'll be ready to resume the action in just a couple of moments. Taking a quick peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, it is now a 3-1 lead for the Swallows in the bottom of the fourth inning over the Giants. In that one there, that game is at the Tokyo Dome. There has been a home run in that one. The Swallows, Suzuki Kata hit his second home run of the year. It was a 2-run shot off of Ogasawara, as that one there was delivered in the top half of inning number 4. The Giants had responded with a run of their own in the bottom half, and that is where that game stands. Top of the sixth inning is upon us, and coming to bat for the Golden Eagles, it'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order. It'll be Muniyama, Nakashima, and Sato. So 9, 1, and 2 to face Kohei Arihara here as we are ready to resume the action. And Arihara has been ordered to play, and we are ready to do so. Muniyama 0 for 1 tonight, has struck out in his only at bat as he swears to bunt, and he bunts it down the third base line, and it's just going to roll foul. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Hits have been at a premium here as the Eagles have only had 3 tonight, 1 each for Sato, Tatsumi, and McCusker. So the pitching of the both ball clubs has been spectacular. If you like pitchers' duels, the pace of this game has been at a magnificent clip as well. There's a breaking ball swung on it, is grounded, and it's got eyes as it gets through the 4-hole into right field past the diving glove of Kama Kawabata. And that is going to be a leadoff single here for Muniyama. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Daisuke Nakashima. So it looks like Jonas Cineros, I'm not sure if I said that right. He says, what inning is it? Well, we do have a ticker running across the bottom of the screen. So that is there to help you up. And there he has noticed it as well. We always update it at the end of each half inning. That is where we stand right now. So we have a runner at first and nobody out. It brings Daisuke Nakashima to the plate. I don't know. I think if I'm the Eagles, I'm going to start dropping some bunts here because you got to start moving a runner into scoring position and taking your chances to bring him home. But no such sign here as a fastball misses outside the Nakashima for ball 1. Want to know it is to the leadoff hitter of the Eagles. Nakashima tonight 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and struck out in his 2 trips to the dish. As Arihara gets himself set, ready to face the left-handed hitting Nakashima as he works himself to the belt. Here comes the 1-0. Pitch on the way. It's a changeup that misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. For those of you who just joined us, we mentioned we will be back on the airwaves Monday night North American time. It'll be a 10 p.m. Pacific or 1 a.m. Eastern. That would be the Tuesday game. It'll be between the Lions and the Fighters. So hopefully you can join us there for that one. We're going to stay with the Fighters, what seems like forever. We'll be doing a couple of weekend games next weekend with them as well, as they'll take on the Buffaloes. As there's a changeup taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. Diego says you should put up the outs on the screen if you can. Well, to be honest with you, otherwise we'll be typing a ton off of there, where it's kind of defeats the purpose of what we try to do. We're trying to do a radio broadcast. Just means people got to listen, because we do update on the regular. 2 balls and 1 strike it is to the right-hander Arihara, as he is ready to deliver again. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on a miss. There goes the runner down to second, but the throw ends up in center field. And Muniema not able to advance. He's going to get himself a stolen base. Nice job there by Isabata to close the ground. And that is going to run the count now. I believe it's 2-2. I think that was a swing and a miss there by the hitter to protect the runner. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Nakashima. Our friend Dino's picks in here. He says, let's go Eagles. Well, you flapped your wings in here at the right time, Dino, as it has been a brilliant pitching performance by Koja so far. Not to be outdone, Kohei Arihara has been pretty good in his own right, but this is the first time since the first inning either team has had a runner to second base. Runner at second base and nobody out here in this situation. And now Arihara ready to face Nakashima again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Checks the runner at second. And the pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to first. Kiyomiya fields it. He's going to step on the bag. That's going to go as a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. Advancing over to third is Muniema. And that'll bring Naoki Sato to the plate. John says that he needs Koja to stay under 97 pitches. Well, at the rate he's going right now, he is in a great spot. And I'll tell you, if he stays under 97 pitches, the Eagles become a very difficult team to beat. Well, this brings Sato to the plate. One thing we want to keep our eye on right now is I'd say keep your eye on a safety or suicide squeeze. The infield is in. They're going to try to cut off the runner at the plate. There's 1 gone here in the inning. Sato is 1 for 2 tonight. He has a single in the 2 trips. Also is grounded to short. And the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike under the hands. No balls, 1 strike to Sato. No sign of a bunt there. So for all of you who were in here early, if you took the under through the first 5 innings, you made the right choice. There hasn't been a run scored in this one yet. I'm not sure what the over-under pregame was in this one, but I sure wasn't expecting it to be nothing into the 6th. So here comes the 0-1 pitch to Sato as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As we said, a very well-pitched ball game tonight by both teams. I wonder how the sunlight here with the roof open does affect the hitters. Usually it's when it's across between the pitcher and home plate where it becomes an extremely tough sun. But I wonder how it plays here with the pitchers who's in the shade, but the sunlight is out in the outfield at this point. Fastball swung on. It is softly lined back to third, and it is caught by Arihara. Oh, it looked like it got off the end of the bat by Sato. I'm going to have to get a look at the replay on that one. And cued it right to Arihara, who made the catch. And they checked the runner back to third, and that's going to retire Sato. We'll get a look at that one again. No, actually, it was on the fists, and it broke the bat of the hitter as well as splinters went flying all over the place. So he is gone for out number 2, and that's going to leave it all up to the center fielder in Ryosuke Tatsumi. So a little bit of luck and some fortunate opportunities here for Arihara. You couldn't ask for a better opportunity for him. Get an easy little ball back to him. And that brings Tatsumi to the plate. He is 1 for 2 tonight. He has one of the 4 hits by the Eagles. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also struck out as the right-hander ready to go again. And he kicks and delivers. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep center field. Racing bat is Isobata, and he makes the catch on the warning track, and that is going to do it. As he was able to wiggle out of it was Arihara here in the inning. A leadoff single, a stolen base to put Muniyama into scoring position, but the Eagles failed to capitalize. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom half of inning number 6. We are where we started. It's the Eagles nothing and the Fighters nothing. Stay with us, everybody. We got a beauty on our hands here tonight. And we'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 6. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is coming to bat here will be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Fighters. That means it's going to be Arizona, Shinto, and Kema Kawabata to face the left-hander Koja, who has been absolutely sparkling tonight. Both pitchers have pitched very well. It's just that Koja has been that much better. Our friend John says it's insane that the game is 0-0. Yeah, especially this deep. So Koja ready to go as the first pitch to Arizona is on the way. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Arizona grounded to third his first time up. 0 for 1 tonight. As the lefty kicks and delivers. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. Only 48 pitches in 5 innings for the lefty. That is unbelievable. Friend John earlier said he needed Koja to stay under 97 pitches. As I said, if he stays under 97 pitches, it's going to be a real hard night for the Fighters to get a victory. There's a fastball missing outside. Count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. Fighters looking for their first base runner of the evening as Arizona has wiggled a count to 3-0. And the 3-0 pitch forthcoming on the way. Fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-1. More action for the NPB and over the next week. We'll do 3 games in the next 7 nights as there's a fastball that catches the outside corner and that runs the count full to Arizona. And just to put it in perspective, it's only the second time tonight that Kojo has gone to 3 balls to a hitter. The third inning, he did it to Shinto. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up foul. It's going to reach the seats behind home plate. The count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. And just as he went to 3 balls with Shinto, he also went full with him. So the only 2 times tonight he's been to full counts on hitters. That's how economical he has been. Chris in the house tonight. He says, enjoy your channel. Well, we are glad. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Arizona. He's gone for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up the catcher in Yuya Shinto. He says, will you be will you be willing to add more graphics? To be honest with you, the answer to that is no. As we said, we've always been of the theme that we want to do like a radio broadcast. We do interact with you guys, but I just find on some of this stuff, it's just too busy. It just forces people to listen and to engage and so on and so forth. So it's just the uniqueness about what we do here. Here's the pitch. Fastball that misses outside. We'll try to add some more entertaining stuff between innings as we do it, whether it is more videos or more little infomercials or more things with musical timeouts. And there is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1 on Shinto. Koja, the lefty, ready to go. We appreciate the Brampton baller in here as well. Breaking ball misses down. The count goes to 2-1. Not saying we wouldn't do some of the other things in the future, but we use StreamYards as opposed to OBS. Some people use OBS. I'm not a big fan. Try to keep it simple as much as possible. As that fastball is swung on and lifted down the right field line, it's going to reach the seats. Count now 2-2. And while we talk about that, we might as well add this link in there for StreamYards. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shinto as the lefty Koja kicks and delivers. It's a fastball missing up. And so here we go, back-to-back full counts. We hadn't seen 3 balls all night except for a couple of hitters, and now it's back-to-back. So is the lefty Koja starting to tire? I don't know. At 60 pitches, I thought he'd have a lot left in the tank. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And it is a breaking ball swung on his tap softly down the third base line. It's just going to roll foul. Ball had a lot of English on it. The third baseman, Kurikawa, had picked it up. But it is 3-2. It remains here to Shinto. Waiting his turn on deck is Kawabata, the second baseman. So Shinto, not known for his hitting prowess. He has struggled his time in the NPB, but he is pretty decent defensively. Does a good job at blocking and everything else. Getting the night off is Uetamiya. He was in the ball game last night. He was replaced by Gunji at some point. There's a fastball swung on, chopped up the middle, fielded on the run by Muniyama, throws to first, and that's going to retire Shinto on a ground out 6-3. He's gone for out number 2, and it's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Kawabata. So, yeah, we do have something brewing here. Get into past the 6th inning. Game's going to become really exciting. So it brings Kawabata to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to center field his first time up. 8 for 40 on the year, batting an even 200. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Pitch again on the way. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count goes to 0-2. I wonder if the other teams around the NPB are cluing into this one. Sometimes the other players will look in when something special is going on as well. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Lefty Koja works himself to the belt. And now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball. Oh, boy. He was bouncing off the mound like it was going to be a called third strike. Catcher held it in there, but the home plate umpire was buying nothing of it. I don't know. I think when you've been this much around the zone all night, got to have a little bit of feel. That one there, I think I would have went up with the right hand and rung him up. Here's the 1-2. Well, one pitch a little bit later, breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Kawabata for the third out of the inning. 18 batters up, 18 batters down for the Fighters. We are now moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the Tohoku Rakuten Gold Eagles 0 and the Hokkaido Nippon-Ham Fighters 0. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with all the action right after this musical timeout. Top of the 7th is just around the corner. We'll be back to bring it to you right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top of the 7th inning. It'll be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Golden Eagles. Carson McCusker, Atsuki Moribayashi, and Fumiya Kurikawa face the right-hander Kohei Arihara. Arihara has been spectacular in his own right. 77 pitches through his 6 innings of work. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Eagles. Nothing across the board for the Fighters at this point. As the first pitch on the way, it is a changeup swung on and missed. McCusker was way out in front of that one. So no balls and 1 strike. Arihara has been effective. He's been getting ahead in the counts, attacking the hitters, and he's been absolutely masterful as the right-handed hitting McCusker waits. Pitch on the way. Changeup swung on and fouled off right into the feet of the catcher, and the count now goes to 0-2 on McCusker. 4 hits tonight by the Eagles, 1 each for Sato, Tatsumi, McCusker, and Muniyama. They have had Sato to second, and Muniyama made it to third in the last inning, and that has been as far as they've gotten on the base paths tonight. So here comes the 0-2, but instead time has been called, and Arihara is going to have to step off the backside of the rubber, wait for McCusker to get himself reset. Christian says, who is currently at bat? It is the Golden Eagles as we are in the top of the 7th. They are the visitors here tonight, as this game is in Hokkaido. Here's the 0-2. Changeup swung on and missed, and McCusker is down on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up Atsuki Moribayashi. And our crack team of statisticians here will tell us that that is the 6th strikeout of the night recorded by Arihara. And that'll bring Moribayashi to the plate, who was 0 for 2 in this one. Moribayashi has popped a third and grounded into a double play in his 2 trips to the plate. And the first pitch from Arihara is a breaking ball that misses outside. The count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Arihara leans in, gets the sign from his catcher, and now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that, not sure where that pitch misses. I've seen that a couple of times tonight. In fact, a few times tonight. The pitch looks like it's almost center cut. Now, I realize that we don't get the full view. It was a 2-seam fastball. The home plate umpire judged that to be a ball. Maybe a little bit too much arm side run from the right-hander Arihara. The pitch looked darn good. Here's the 2-0. Fastball swung on, lifted into left field. This ball is going to get down. Cutting it off is Nomura. And reaching first with his first hit of the night is Moribayashi. So he is aboard with a 1-out single, and that's going to bring up the third baseman in Fumiya Kurikawa. Another two-seam fastball out of the hands of Arihara. That one there caught a little too much of the plate. Good piece of hitting there by Muribayashi. Really stayed inside the ball. Able to take that to the post side. So that brings Kurikawa to the plate. He is grounded to first and grounded to second in his 2 trips to the dish. Hitting .242 on the year with a couple of homers and 19 runs batted in. And he takes a fastball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I remember when Bartolo Colon pitched in the major leagues, Big Sexy as they used to call him, he relied on his two-seam fastball, and they said that he would throw his fastball about 80% of the time. That is absolutely incredible. The starting pitcher would rely 80% of the time on his two-seamer specifically. And then he'd mix in the rest of his pitches from there. Here's the 0-1. And instead, Arihara steps off and flips it over to first base. And getting back easily is the base runner, Muribayashi. Defensively, it's been a well-played game. Again, they flip it back over to first, and Muribayashi dives back again. I would say you probably want to keep your eye here, as Muribayashi's only got a couple of stolen bases. And in fact, in the lineup tonight for the Golden Eagles, there's really nobody outside of Nakashima who has posted up any type of base stealing. Actually, I guess Tatsumi's got 6 as well. There goes the runner. It's hit, and it's grounded over to first, fielded by Kiyomiya, and he's going to step on the bag. They had a hit and run on. Very fortunate. Kurikawa not able to punch it through the 4-hole. He's going to ground out to 3. Advancing into scoring position is Muribayashi. We're going to look at that replay again. As Kiyomiya was holding the runner at first, probably if he was in his normal depth, there might have been a chance that could have got through. But Kurikawa gone for the second out of the inning. It leaves it up to the first baseman in Kyosuke Kaneko. Well, for Kaneko, he reached base for the first time in his NPB career, his last at bat, as he was hit by a pitch. He's 0 for 7 so far lifetime, which has only accounted for 3 games. And he swings at a first pitch changeup and he misses, and the count is 0-1. This might be a short-lived experiment for Kaneko. You wonder how long it's going to take until he finds himself his first base hit. Our friend Samurai Purr in the house. Thank you for joining us from Osaka tonight. Glad you could make it in. We did our roll call earlier and we missed you, but now that you're here, we are glad you could make it. There is a changeup that misses inside, and the count is 1-1. And we've got something special brewing here. If you haven't figured it out, we won't talk about it directly, but certainly this pitching matchup here tonight has been spectacular to watch. Nothing as we are in the top of the 7th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike it is to Kaneko. There's 2 gone here in the inning. Arihara has been great. Koja has been better. Pitch on the way. And that's a split finger pitch swung on in the dirt and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. I would say Kaneko's probably got to go back to the lab because he is swinging wildly at pitches. I wonder if he's pressing a bit too. You know, you start getting that monkey on your back. You're looking for your first hit. You're wondering when it's ever going to come. And rather just taking a deep breath and relaxing. But right now he is up there swinging at a lot of air. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Arihara leans in. He gets the side from his catcher. He's ready to go back to work again. Here comes the 1-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball spiked up to the plate. You might as well throw it again. Split finger pitch in the dirt. Good job there by Shinto to block it. I mean, let's face it. If you got him swinging at pitches that are bouncing to the plate, you might as well throw another one, see if he swings again. No sense in tricking him with something different. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Arihara adjusts his cap. The runner over at second is Muribayashi. 2 gone here in the 7th. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hard leans in and gets the sign. And now the 2-2 on its way. And that's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. One thing that is noticeable is how Arihara does really slow down his tempo when he does get runners on base. When there's nobody on base, both of these pitchers here are working very efficiently and quickly. You know, when you look at the time of this game so far, we're in the 7th inning and we're an hour 3/4 deep. It's pretty good. Pitch number 91 coming up here from Arihara as he waits at the belt. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball, waved at and missed. Kaneko's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Eagles in the top of the 7th. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. Moving to the bottom of the 7th inning, your score is the Tohoku Rakuten Golden Eagles, nothing, the Fighters, nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this version of our Take Me Out to the Ball Game Japanese style.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the top of the order. That means Isabata, Mizuno, and Manami to face the left-hander Koja, who is at 66 pitches through his 6 innings of work, and the first pitch fastball misses up and away for ball 1. 1-0 to Isabata. Isabata 0 for 2 tonight, has struck out looking and grounded to the pitcher. Average has dipped to 197 on the year as the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field, and there it goes. There goes the perfect game and the no-hitter as Isabata has got himself a base hit here to start the 7th. Oh, boy, it was a masterful piece of pitching here by Koja through the first 6 innings. 18 batters up and 18 batters down. But the guy hitting below the Mendoza line with a base hit to break up the no-no is aboard at first base. And he can run, he can motor, so keep an eye here, as this might be the opportunity for the Fighters to cash in on a run. So as brilliant as Koja has been here tonight, now he is in a situation where you've got a runner aboard here with some wheels. Mizuno coming to the plate. I don't know. I think if I'm the Fighters, I'm straight stealing them. And then maybe have Mizuno bunt him to third. That might be the order of the day, but we'll see what the Fighters have in mind. Batting .290 on the season as the lefty holds set. And the pitch. He squares the bunt, and it's a good one. And they're going to have to field it. Kurokawa throws, and they're going to go all the way to third. They missed the assignment, and they didn't know who was covering third base. Usually that's the catcher's responsibility, is he's got to get down the line. A great job by Isobata to read the miscommunication of the Eagles. A sacrifice bunt that is going to be retiring Mizuno. We'll get a look at this one again. Ball was bunted down. The third baseman, he comes racing in, but the catcher, slow to read. Pitcher ended up getting over there, which was Koja. That's usually the catcher's responsibility. All the way over to third is Isobata on the sacrifice, 5-4 on the putout. That's going to bring Chusei Minami to the plate. So some poor communication and fundamentals. If this game ends up a 1-0 game, should the Fighters cash a run in here, you can point to the poor communication or the poor execution by the Eagles defense. And they spent a lot of time practicing the bunt D. Well, that's going to move the infield in with Minami at the plate. So Minami 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded to second, and he has struck out in his 2 trips. Batting .267 on the year, and now time has been called. As Minami steps out of the batter's box. Fighters looking to push the first run of the game across here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Infield in for the Eagles. And the pitch to Minami is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. Kind of makes you wonder if Minami will get anything good to hit. You're almost better off putting Minami on and taking your chances with Franmil Reyes coming up. I know it's pick your poison, but at least you've got an opportunity for a double play. If Minami was the base runner over at first, certainly Reyes, not only could he ground into a double play, he could also put a ball into the seats. And there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side of home plate. The count is 1-1 to Minami. It's been an entertaining affair. If you like the pitcher's duel, if you're not into the pitcher's duel, well, you probably come to the wrong place tonight for this one. 0-0 as we are in the 7th. The ice has got to break sometime. Will it be broken here in the bottom of the 7th? So here comes the 1-1 pitch now to Minami. As the lefty Kojo waits on the hitter of the Fighters to dig in. Now the pitch on the way. It's a fastball swung on. It's going to get looped over the shortstop just behind the bag at second base. It is going to get the run in from third. It's going to be the cheapest RBI single probably Minami will ever have in his career, but that is going to make the scoreline 1-0 here for the Fighters. As that is going to bring home Isobata with run number 1. And so Minami, it'll go as a line drive in the box score, but I think you're going to have to get the towel out to wipe the blood off the ball because that was a bleeder for sure. All smiles at first base as he shakes hands with the first base coach. That ball just loops in over behind the bag at second. Tough, because if the infield's playing back in normal depth, that ball would more than likely have been caught. Because they got to cut the runoff at the plate, it was very cheeky as it drops in behind the shortstop. And Minami all smiles. So that brings Franmil Reyes to the plate. As Reyes is 0 for 2 tonight. He is grounded to short and grounded to third in his 2 trips. And a little bit hard done by for Koja. He has been absolutely brilliant tonight. Our friend Lumen Code says, there we go. Yeah, well, you got to keep it moving. So Reyes standing in at the plate here as the lefty works himself to the belt. He checks the runner at first. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the right field line. 0-1 to Reyes. Reyes has been relatively quiet the last couple of nights, but he does have some serious numbers. He's got 24 homers. He's hitting .325 on the year. He's also driven in 61 runs, so he's all over the offensive categories. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses outside, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Reyes. Glad you folks could make it in. As we mentioned earlier, we are going to be back on the airwaves again for the Tuesday game, Monday night North American time. So 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern if you are up and around. Hopefully you can join us. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball missing down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Reyes. We will pop up our schedule, and then we'll do a couple of weekend games next week when the Fighters go to Osaka to play the Buffaloes, seemingly following the Fighters around this week. Here's the pitch, and it is a breaking ball that swung on and missed. The count goes even at 2 now to Reyes. Not what we have necessarily scheduled in our own mind, but we will do the games as we can bring them to you. Just happens to work out that way. I remember a few years ago, we had a hard time watching the Fighters, just as, to be honest with you, watching the Eagles has been a bit of a challenge. Although defensively, they played pretty good the last couple of nights. There's a fastball swung on, and it's line foul down the right field line. Count is 2-2. They do some of the games, and it's hard to watch. I remember when the Fighters were making 2, 3, 4 errors a night when Shinjo had first taken over. So they've really cleaned that up, and they've made themselves a much better team that way. They just got to be able to find a way to get over the hump, known as the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on, and another one lifted foul into the seats down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Reyes touches both sides of the plate. As the lefty Koja leans in and gets the sign from his catcher. And the 2-2 is ready to come. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted down the right field line into the seats. This one's going to reach the second deck, and the count remains at 2-2 to Reyes. You see, Reyes' timing is just a little bit off. He let that one get way too deep on him. He was able to fight it off. When he's on a heater, boy, he can really get going. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the lefty holds set. Now delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to short. They go to second for 1, back to first. It's going to be in time. That is going to be a double play. It's going to go as a 6-4-3 variety. Racing Manami at second for the second out, and Reyes on the trail side. But big news in this one, the Fighters get on the board. 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score as we are now through 7 complete. It is the Fighters with a 1-0 lead over the Eagles. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action right after this. Appreciate you for hanging in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel.
Turn it up, don't turn it off. Turn me round, put me in my place. From there, I can see it all, so beautiful. The world is turning fast.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be Horiuchi, Muniyama, and Nakashima to come to bat here to begin inning number 8. I just wanted to go back in that last half inning when Isobata was able to reach base. And then the sacrifice bunt by Mizuno where he went all the way over to third. And you think about it, if he was just bunted over to second, when Manami came to the plate, that little looper that he would have had would have been an out because they wouldn't have been playing with the infield in. And probably would have been a catch. And that would have been the second out. And then, of course, he would have had Reyes. So we'd still be locked at a scoreless deadlock. So that play, the mental mistake by the catcher not getting down to cover third base, will be the turning point in this one if this ends up being a Eagles loss. And again, Horiuchi catching, not Oda. I'm not sure that Oda would make that mistake. You got to know what's going on, and certainly Isobata, tip your hat to him. He really read that perfectly, went all the way around from first to third. One sacrifice bunt. Well, Kohei Arihara is back on the hill as he will continue here, as he's going to be facing the aforementioned Horiuchi, who's 0 for 2 tonight. The first pitch, he check swings and fouls it off over on the third base side. The count is quickly 0-1. Horiuchi is 0 for 2. He has struck out and he has flown to left in his 2 trips to the dish. For Kohei Arihara, 91 pitches through 7 innings for him. He has been very good, pitch for pitch, just as good as his counterpart Koja. There's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the first base side. 0-2 it is to Horiuchi. So no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Arihara working himself to the belt. And now the 0-2 on the way. That's a split finger pitch down in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go again. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Shakes off his catcher a couple of times. And the 1-2 on the way. It is a split finger pitch in the dirt, swung on and missed. Picking it up is Shinto. He throws to first. It's going to go as a strikeout, 2-3 on the putout. For out number 1, it'll bring up the shortstop in Rui Muniyama. Well, for Muniyama tonight, he is officially 1 for 2. He has singled in 2 trips. He's also stolen a base. And he has been the only base runner for the Eagles to touch third base tonight. So he is striding to the plate. He has been on a roll, as we mentioned. I think he was, if I'm not mistaken, he's now 7 for 18 over his last 5 games, if my memory serves me correctly. As that pitch is fouled away, he's raised his season average up to 228. So no balls and 1 strike to Muniyama. Got to get some offensive production from some other players in the batting order. The top 5 in the lineup tonight, pretty decent. Bottom 4, a little bit to be desired, as that's a changeup that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Muniyama. Arihara is looking pretty smooth. Here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Changeup swung on and missed, and Muniyama has been made quick work of. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Another strikeout recorded by Arihara. And if I go to our crack list, I believe that's strikeout number 9 for Arihara here tonight. So 9 in the books recorded by Kohei, including his 1,000th strikeout earlier in the ballgame. Here comes the first offering to the top of the order. It's Nakashima, and he takes a breaking ball inside for ball 1. Nakashima 0 for 3 tonight. He has grounded out twice and struck out once. Season averages dropped to 265. Arihara nods in agreement Shinto, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses inside. The count now goes to 2-0. Looking ahead to the ninth inning for the Eagles, it'll be the top part of the order. I'm curious to see if they'll run Arihara back out there again, assuming that they're able to get through Nakashima here. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball swung on, and it is going to be grounded into right field for a base hit. And that is a 2-out single for Nakashima, so I don't want to get ahead of myself quite yet. So he's aboard with a 2-out single. That's going to bring Naoki Sato to the plate. They haven't been able to string the hits together. That's the sixth hit of the night for the Eagles. Only once tonight have they had 2 hits in the same inning, and that had to go all the way back to inning 1 when Sato and Tatsumi went back-to-back. So this brings Sato to the plate. 1 for 3 tonight. Single, ground out. He had that soft liner back to the pitcher in inning number 6. Batting from the right side here against the right-hander Arihara. The first pitch is a breaking ball, waved at and missed. Count is quickly 0-1. 102 pitches now for Kohei Arihara. Sato taps both sides of the plate, redigs himself back in. As he waits on the offering here from the right-hander, Arihara nods in agreements, checks the runner over at first. And here comes the 0-1. Steady does the flip over to first base and easily getting back as the runner Nakashima. I wonder if they'll put him in motion here. I mean, you got to get him into scoring position, and certainly then a base hit would be able to potentially drive him home. You take the risk with Shinto behind the plate. He did throw out Kaneko early in the ball game, but Nakashima is a little bit better runner. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, popped up into shallow center field, backing up, and underneath it is the second baseman, Kamikawa Bada. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here as the Eagles are gone for the third out here in inning number 8. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the the bottom of the 8th inning. Looking ahead, Nomura, Kiyomiya, and Arizona to come to bat. We're going to get ourselves a sip of our beverage. We'll give you the bottom half of the 8th when we return in just a few. Thanks for sticking with us tonight, everybody. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. The bottom of the 8th inning is upon us, and it'll be Yuki Nomura, Kitaro Kiyomiya, and Naoki Arizono to come to bat here for the Fighters in their half of inning number 8. As the lefty Koja is back on for his 8th inning of work. He has been sparkling here tonight, but yet he finds that he is in the hole 1-0. Only 2 hits tonight. Recorded by the Fighters, 80 pitches for the left-hander. He has been great. Kohei Arihara has had some more luck, and he has just been that slight bit better. First pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field, but not deep enough. He just got underneath it. Underneath it to make the catch is the left fielder, Nakashima. And with 1 pitch, we have 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th as Nomura's in the books. That'll bring up the first baseman in Kitaro Kiyomiya. Looked like he might have got more wood on it than we projected, but certainly just got under just a little bit there, did Nomura. So Kiyomiya coming to the plate 0-for-2 tonight. He has struck out and he has lined out to right field. Good swing his last at bat. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses up and in, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to Kiyomiya. Fan favorite. His name has been in baseball circles for many moons in Japan, starting with the Little League World Series. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into center field. Moving back is Tatsumi. He's there to make the catch. That is going to retire Kiyomiya for the second out of the inning. So he has hit 2 balls really well tonight, Kiyomiya, especially after not playing in last night's ball game. But nothing to show for it here. So 2 gone in the inning, and that is going to bring up the third baseman in Naoki Arizono. So for Arizono, he comes to the plate. He is 0-for-2. He is grounded out and struck out. His 2 trips to the plate. Batting from the right side has got off to a great start, but his average has now slipped to .316. As the first pitch, breaking ball misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Well, it looks like Kohei Arihara is going to start, and the best closer for the Fighters is going to be Kohei Arihara, as it looks like he's coming back out for the 9th inning of work. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes even at 1-1. I was saying before the ball game, entering the game tonight, Arihara had an ERA of 4.88. There's a fastball swung on that is lifted into deep left field, back onto the warning track, and with room to make the catch is the left fielder Nakashima, just not far enough. Arizono just got underneath it. 3 fly ball outs here in inning number 8, and that's going to do it for the Fighters. And a nice work by Koja. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. It all flips over to the Golden Eagles for the 9th inning. I don't know if at the beginning of the game you took the under, you're probably grinning right now. We'll see if that's going to hold up in just a few. It is a 1-0 game for the Fighters. We move to the top of the 9th. We'll be back to bring it for you in just a bit.
Find my way to you. Yeah. I want to find my way to you. You, my love. There's so many people who say that they won't when they will.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Samurai Prayer says only 130 minutes. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens. I had to go and take a look at the score sheets. There has not been a single walk issued in tonight's game. There was a hit batter as Kaneko was plugged in the 5th inning. But I don't see on my score sheet a single walk. So when pitchers are up there throwing strikes, that is a good thing. The starter Kohei Arihara tonight has gone to full count on 4 batters over the first 8 innings. And when I look at his counterpart, Koja, he has gone to full count on only 3 batters. So that makes a huge difference. Guys are swinging at the ball, putting it in play early in the at-bats. So here we go. At 103 pitches, it is Tatsumi to lead it off. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on, and that is fouled away down the left field line. The count is quickly 0-1. So 103 pitches for Arihara through 8 innings. Major League Baseball, take a look. And Samurai Prayer says, our voice is 100% healthy. Yeah, feeling a lot better this time of the year. It's the way it is. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Usually, if we're on a field or we're doing something, sometimes we're having to talk a lot more. Not so much. Didn't almost know what to do with myself this weekend. We had so much time on our hands. Looks like a defensive change for the Fighters at third base. I missed on who that was. It looks like Arizona's night is done. As the 0-2 on the way, it is a split finger pitch in the dirt. The count now runs to 1-2 on Tatsumi. Tatsumi, McCusker, and Murray Biashi, the three hitters to come to bat here for the Golden Eagles in inning number 9. So it is the legs of Isobata and the luck off the bat of Minami that have given the Fighters a 1-0 lead. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Another split finger pitch that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2 on Tatsumi. Eagles need a base runner of some variety. And the earlier the better if you are the fan of the Tohoku Ball Club. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is Arihara ready to go again. The back-to-back stellar pitching performance for the Fighters right-hander, no matter what the outcome of this game will be. Here's the 2-2. It's a changeup swung on and missed, and Tatsumi, he's gone on strikes for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up Carson McCusker. And we got Zay in the house tonight. We haven't seen Zay in a while. In fact, I can't remember the last time we've seen our friend Zay, the resident Fighter fan. We appreciate you for stopping by. Glad you can make it in. We are going to be Fighter crazy over the next little bit, as we'll do another one on Tuesday or Monday night North American time, and a couple of more next weekend as well, just the way it works out. So McCusker steps in. He's 1 for 3 tonight, and the pitch from Arihara, changeup swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Wondering when our friend Zay would saunter by, and it looks like tonight's the night. The Fighters just have to find themselves a way to get over the Fukuoka top spot in the Pacific. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Changeup misses down. Count now goes to 1-1 on McCusker. After this game's over, we'll give you a rundown on this one. We'll also take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we call it a night. So here comes the 1-1 pitch from Arihara. As he kicks and delivers, it's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2. Yeah, I got to say, if you're Carson McCusker, you're not getting anything good to hit in this at bat. He's throwing him a changeup. He's throwing him a splitter. If the only fastball he's probably going to see is going to be about 5 feet over his head. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. McCusker, with 1 swing of the bat, could tie this game up. So here comes the 1-2 as Arihara works himself set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a changeup that floats inside for a ball. And the count now 2-2 to McCusker. Top of the 9th inning. Fighters with a 1-0 lead. It was a opportunity squandered by the Eagles as their pitcher Koja was perfect through 6. Here comes the 2-2 as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count now runs full. 3-2 to Carson McCusker. So McCusker steps back in, taps both sides of the plate. As we are ready to go again, here comes the 3-2 offering. As he nods in agreement, now he works himself to the belt. Here comes the 3-2, pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, and it's going to be hammered. That might even get into the third deck as it's pulled over onto the third base side. He was so far out in front of that thing. Boy, if we were playing cricket, that might have went for 6. but just in the wrong direction. That's going to keep the count full here to McCusker at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. McCusker again digs back in. He is an imposing figure, 6'8". As Arihara nods in agreement with his catcher, here comes the 3-2 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, there is a changeup taken for a called third strike. McCusker was starting to make his way to first base, and the umpire pulls the chain and he retires him, does a 180 and walks back to the dugout. He's got nothing to say to the home plate umpire. I guess one dumping on a week is enough for him. So he's gone for out number 2, and it's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Itsuki Moribayashi. The reason I allude to that is McCusker was tossed out of a game earlier in the week for extended arguing. Well, not much to argue about there, as that'll bring up Moribayashi to the plate. 1 for 3 tonight. He has a single. He's grounded into a double play, and he is lined out to the first baseman. And he takes a changeup upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Koja still up and throwing in front of the dugout, anticipating that maybe we get to a 9th inning or bottom of the 9th. Moribayashi is going to have to show some magic. He's only got 4 homers on the year. As Arihara kicks and delivers, there's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander Arihara kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it, is lifted into shallow right field. Moving back on it is the second baseman, Kama Kawabata, but it's going to be the right fielder, Manami, who's going to haul it in, and that is going to do it. As a 1-0 ball game is in the books in 2 hours and 20 minutes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard for the Eagles in the top of the 9th. Your final score is the Fighters 1, the Eagles no score. Stick around, everybody. I'll be back in just a couple of moments to wrap this one up for you on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel, the full recap and a look around the league before we call it a night. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city, San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. In front of 32,195 spectators, it was a brilliant pitchers duel between Kohei Arihara and Katsuki Koja in tonight's affair. 1-0 your final score. 1-2-0 for the Fighters, 0-6-0 for the Golden Eagles. And it is a pretty easy recap in this one. The scoring only came in the 7th inning. It was a leadoff single off the bat of Isabata. He broke up the perfect game as Koja was perfect through 6 innings, retiring 18 straight Fighters batters. And then up stepped Tatsuki Mizuno. He dropped the sacrifice bunt down. The third baseman of the Golden Eagles fielded it through to first base, but traditionally in that situation, the catcher's got to get down and cover third base. Isobata read that nobody was covering the base. He went all the way from first to third. Chusei Manami stepped up, and he had a little blooper just over past second base into shallow center field with the infield in. That drove home Isobata with the one and only run of the ball game. And your final score was 1-0. Kohei Arihara picks up the win. He goes to 4-6 on the year. tough luck for Katsuki Koja. He takes the loss. He drops to 1-8. Taking a quick peek around the out-of-town scoreboard, the only game that is currently underway in the bottom of the sixth inning, we've got the Giants with a 6-3 lead over the Swallows. Swallows in jeopardy of falling right out of the playoff picture pretty quickly. And the only other games that will go off later tonight in about 35 minutes time at the Zozo Marine Stadium. It'll be the Marines hosting the Buffaloes. The Lions will be hosting the Hawks. And in an hour and a half, the Central League games between the Carp and the Bay Stars and the Dragons and the Tigers will go off a little later this evening. Once again, a reminder, we will be back on the airwaves. It'll be for Tuesday baseball, but it'll be Monday in Japan. And what that means is, Tuesday baseball, it'll be Tuesday baseball, Monday in North America, 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern. So hopefully you guys can join us. That'll be the Lions and the Fighters. It'll be a rare weekday baseball game that we'll be able to call for you that evening. All right, everybody, we hope you had a great night. Thanks again for listening. We will see you again later in the week. Come on back and see us again. We're going to put up a video of a brawl, or a potential almost brawl incident between the Tigers and the Mariners earlier this week. So check out our channel for the video. It'll come out hopefully either late tonight or early tomorrow morning. We're going to try to do some other type of videos as well. Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon in the next couple of days.